911 is on recorded. Where's your emergency?
Dashcam video reveals the moment Hopkinton police pulled up to the scene after a jogger reported seeing a person hanging from a tree.
35 West Main? Right?
Yeah.
35 West Main, possible deceased now hanging from a tree. 35 West Main, okay. So if you're coming down from Upton, is he on the right side of the road or the left?
The right side.
The right side.
At the greenhouse. Next to the greenhouse. I have a caller on the line who believes that there is a deceased male hanging from a tree there.
Okay, we're on our way.
The deceased person turned out to be 16-year-old MIKAYLA Miller. Her body was found in the woods near her family's home. A medical examiner now ruling her death a suicide. The official cause? Asphyxiation by hanging. In an audio press conference, Miller's mother says her daughter did not kill herself.
I want to be really clear that the only thing I want out of all of this is to find the truth. The conclusion that they made yesterday is the conclusion they made the first day they walked into my house. There's no difference, but I know the truth.
She says MIKAYLA got into a fight with a group of teens. Executive Director of the National Black Justice Coalition, David Johnson, who's helping the family, believes the teen may have been murdered.
5 white teenagers are involved but have not been interviewed. And there's an official report of MIKAYLA having been assaulted by these 5 white teenagers the night of April 17th around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
He says he believes Miller's case is being mishandled because she was a black member of the LGBTQ plus community. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is now taking on the case. Investigators say the teen was punched in the face, but they confirm the people involved were in other places the night Miller was last seen. And the local district attorney calls the allegations painfully false. She says some of the evidence cannot be released under the Domestic Violence Act of 2014. And she says she plans to work with the Miller family as this investigation moves forward. Nicole.
Family and supporters taking their fight for justice right to the district attorney. They rallied right outside of one of District Attorney Marion Ryan's offices this afternoon. I'm David Wade.
And I'm Paula Eben in for Lisa Hughes tonight. Now, they disagree with the medical examiner's ruling that MIKAYLA died by suicide, and they want the DA to recuse herself from the investigation. As WBZ's Beth Germano shows us, they do not plan to give up.
Justice for MIKAYLA Miller!
It was a statement loud and clear outside the Lowell office of the Middlesex District Attorney.
Plain and simple, we want justice. We want DA Marion Ryan to recuse herself and to call in the FBI to do a complete and thorough investigation immediately.
Some are calling for DA Marion Ryan to step down from the office altogether, claiming she's mishandled the investigation into the death of Hopkinton teen MIKAYLA Miller. Her mother says she wants truth and accountability.
I appreciate everyone's support, and I'm very grateful that people are continuing to support, my family and finding justice for my daughter.
Miller's body was found on April 18th, hanging from a tree in woods near her home. These protesters refused to accept a medical examiner's conclusion that Miller committed suicide.
She was found in a tree that would not support her body weight. So how is someone going to hang themselves from a tree that doesn't support their body weight, first of all?
And they claim investigators have not been forthcoming about an assault on Miller by several teens the night before she died. The DA says there's no proof any of those teens were near her in the woods, but the protesters say they won't stop until there's an independent investigation, not the DA leading the probe.
You have proved that you cannot function from a place of professionalism and have transparency and accountability when it comes to this family.
Protesters claim they've gathered some 16,000 signatures demanding that the DA resign altogether. She's had no comment on their demands, only saying that this remains an active investigation. In Lowell, I'm Beth Germano, WBZ News.
All right, Beth, thank you. Now, Governor Baker has said the only person who could step in and take over the investigation is the Attorney General. Well, WBZ's John Keller spoke with Maura Healy today, who said she understands the pain, but she did not seem ready to jump in.
I understand this, is that these things do take time, but I know that is happening, and I'll reserve comment until we have that investigation complete and the results and the reports of that investigation public.
So again, at this point, we've heard from the medical examiner, but the district attorney, Marion Ryan, has said that it will likely take several months to complete the entire investigation, Paula.
Well,
Okay, they said several months. That was 7 months ago. As you see right there, N is from the news, Boston News, right at CBS Boston News. So with that being said, that was 7 months ago. 7 months ago. What have they done? Not a damn thing. So her, that Baker guy or woman, and that other woman, the mayor, and the other one, all need to be out of office. They don't need to be in office. They don't need to be there. They can't do the goddamn job. They can't be biased. They can't be having this double standard bullshit going on. Double standards. So with that being said, any place they are doing double standards, they need to clean them right the fuck out of here, because people are getting tired. And as you see, there's a whole bunch of white people there. Hardly any black people there. In which that's a fucking shame. But everybody yelling Black Lives Matter. But it's no black people there. Don't that seem fucking strange to people? It's the people who are higher up that sit there and doing this double standard shit. Regular white people don't fucking go around doing this shit. So you already know. But anyways, let me go into this other video.
This afternoon, a vigil is planned at the marathon start line in honor of 16-year-old MIKAYLA Miller, who died last month. Her family claims the Hopkinton girl was murdered, and they're asking for justice. WBZ's Christina Hager is live in Hopkinton with more on how the town is preparing for this event. Christina?
Paula, there was an increased police presence at the schools in town this morning, and students were let out early to ensure they had time to safely get home. The superintendent sent out a notice saying she had concerns about heavy traffic in town with the crowds expected here this afternoon. Hopkinton High students filing out of school before 11 this morning ahead of a 4:30 vigil for 16-year-old classmate MIKAYLA Miller. She was found hanging from a tree in some woods last month. In the absence of real answers, rumors have alleged she was murdered and bullied.
Is an unspeakable tragedy.
Earlier this week, we heard from the Middlesex District Attorney Marion Ryan, who confirmed MIKAYLA had been in a fight with other girls the night before her body was discovered. She told police she had been punched, but Ryan said cell phone technology and witness interviews indicate the others involved were not with MIKAYLA when she died.
What is clear is that this office has a very strong record of examining every case through a lens of racial justice and racial equity.
Boston activist Monica Cannon Grant, who organized tonight's vigil and rally, spoke on WGBH.
The frustration is this: if MIKAYLA was a white child, and this was 5 black children that engaged in this activity, not only would they have been charged for an assault, but they would have had their faces all over social media, the media, and everywhere else.
So this rally will be here on the town green at the marathon start line. You see some flowers and a sign here already. This case has gotten the attention of some national politicians like Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, also Congressman Jake Auchincloss. State Senate President Karen Spilka says she plans to attend the rally. Some other reps have posted on social media. Also, former Boston City Councilor and activist Tito Jackson, all in support of MIKAYLA and her family. In Hopkinton, Christina Hager, WBZ News.
You got her the perfect gift.
Middlesex County District Attorney says it will probably take months to get answers in MIKAYLA Miller's death.
WBZ's Anaritas Rodriguez joins us live in the studio now. And Anaritas, the DA says these investigations take time.
Lisa, it has been 2.5 weeks since 16-year-old MIKAYLA Miller was found dead in the woods in Hopkinton. And District Attorney Marion Ryan told the Hopkinton School Committee her office has made progress since then, but one of the most important parts, the autopsy, and that could take months to finish.
There's the piece of the work that is the doing of the report and the doctor making their conclusions and all of that. And then there's the other piece of the work, which is just actually doing and running the tests and waiting, just like when you go to the lab yourself. And that part, you can't really rush. So there's a part that's administrative and ministerial that you can maybe move a little bit up the list. And then there's just that technical piece that just takes what it takes.
A rally and a vigil was held last night in Hopkinton to remember MIKAYLA and call for justice in her death. MIKAYLA's mother believes her daughter was murdered. Today, the activist group Violence in Boston announced it will be paying for an independent autopsy on MIKAYLA. Also today, the group GLAAD joined the calls for DA Ryan to recuse herself from this investigation. David?
Anaritas, thank you.
Now, that was 7 months ago. Wow.
MIKAYLA's mom fueled a social media firestorm with this post, accusing police of turning a blind eye to the kids who she says bullied, ambushed, and murdered her daughter. It was a post that drew angry online support from people claiming the teen was lynched because she was black or gay or both.
The idea that we would be not investigating bullying or a murder as the allegation.
MIKAYLA was a student athlete at Hopkinton High, which is almost entirely white. And while the DA's office indicated early on that her death was not suspicious, perhaps meaning it was a suicide, they acknowledge a relationship breakup the day before triggered a fight.
We know it was an altercation among people.
The family continues to question the police investigation. What don't they agree with?
A couple of things, Mark and Vanessa, starting with the way the case was handled from the get-go. They also have some questions regarding what the medical examiner released just yesterday.
MIKAYLA is a big part of my life that is now gone.
An emotional Calvina Struthers says she can accept the medical examiner saying the cause of MIKAYLA Miller's death was asphyxiation by hanging, but she can't accept the manner of death was suicide.
I don't believe that my daughter committed suicide, so that's not something that I'm even entertaining.
The family says the tree MIKAYLA was hanging from was not tall nor sturdy enough to withstand her weight. Plus, they say the belt did not belong to MIKAYLA or her mother, and the tracksuit she was wearing did not require a belt.
I do not believe that she committed suicide, especially being found standing upright, not hanging, and a belt tied around her neck. Defies common sense. Really, when you ask this family just to take our word for it, it was suicide, and to offer them nothing further.
Newly acquired civil rights attorney Ben Crump says, although busy dealing with several national cases that come across his desk, he chose to get involved with MIKAYLA Miller's case, saying it struck him the same way as the cases of Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery.
When I first talked to those parents, and they talked about how their child was dead and nobody seemed to care. Nobody wanted to try to help them get to the truth.
DA Marion Ryan has called the case an unspeakable tragedy and added that so far there is no evidence suggesting anyone else was with MIKAYLA at the time of her death. Meanwhile, the family is also questioning why the video cameras in their clubhouse were all of a sudden not working on the day MIKAYLA was in a fight with 5 teenagers and died, or the day...
They know them damn cameras was working in that clubhouse or whatever. Okay, then if it was a lover, a boyfriend, or whatever the case may be, girlfriend, that's what they basically saying about this news report, that the girlfriend was in the fight. Okay, so then where the fuck is she at? Where the fuck is she at? Why ain't questioning her? Why nobody heard about that? Why nobody showing these pictures of these people? Why did nobody telling their names of these people? Why are y'all covering it up where we can't do our little investigation thing on YouTube, because obviously it seems like YouTubers are way more smarter than cops and fucking reporters. I would hope to think that some cops got some damn brains. So I'm sure the same thoughts going through our head, the same thing going to their head. Is the fact about it that it's not giving a fuck or caring or whatever the case may be. Because okay, look how that white girl, I mean, her boyfriend killing her and stuff like that. That was every fucking where. That shit was every fucking where. But when I first heard about her case, Miss Miller, I hardly had any information, anything would happen and stuff like that. And if they reported it about the fight, where the fuck is that report at? You see, that's the thing about it. That's how you know things are cover up or they not giving a fuck. Because if these 18-year-olds, like I said, 18-year-olds jump this girl and they not doing nothing, that's adult. She's considered as a minor. So they should be arrested on that fact. If they didn't do this murder, if they didn't kill her or she committed suicide. If she committed suicide, they had nothing to worry about. But what about the part what they did do? And the girlfriend, I don't know, girlfriend, boyfriend, I don't know, whatever. If that person was there, why ain't they questioning her? Where the hell is she at? Since they say she's a part of the LGBTQ community, where the fuck is that person at? Claiming she love her or whatever. This is another video, but I'm like, this right here, it just don't make any sense. The whole fucking thing do not make any fucking sense. And you know, that's how you know when there's some people involved that shouldn't be involved, that's covering up shit, they're hiding shit, or whatever, allegedly.
Body was found.
The conclusion that they made yesterday is the conclusion they made the first day they walked into the house. There's no difference. But I know the truth. And it's not what they say.
And the family reps say they have completed an independent autopsy, but they're not ready to release that until they have spoken with the medical examiner. We reached out to DA Marion Ryan as well regarding today's phone call. She says the investigation continues into MIKAYLA's case, but she has no further comment at this time.
Well, we know one of the allegations made on that phone call today was that two of the kids involved in the fight with MIKAYLA the day she died are tied to the police department. What do you know about that?
Yeah, family reps share that information with us on the phone call, saying they were looking to confirm that. So we reached out to Hopkinton PD to see if there are any ties. We asked them that specific question. They said one of the 5 teens had a grandfather who served here maybe 40 years ago. That grandfather died in 2001. They say there is currently no ties with the police department and those 5 teens.
Well, I'll leave you live for us tonight in Hopkinton.
So listen, we're going to get ready to go, but you don't get to leave without homework. Part of the reason that we're here today is because there's been a lack of transparency, as you heard from my mom, right? And I know there's a whole bunch of elected officials here today, and I'm glad you're here, because we got some homework for you, right? What we want is for everyone here to demand an independent investigation per request of the family. Well, y'all can make more noise than that. This district attorney and the police department have proven that they cannot be transparent and be accountable, even in a situation where a 16-year-old child's life is lost. And the other pushback is to the media. She's a child, not a woman. She's a child. She's a child. Because you can be black and be a child. So we want an independent investigation. I want everybody here to call DA Marion Ryan and tell her to remove herself. pull out your phone so you can take this number.
Hold on, wait. Don't stop that.
You said wait?
Yeah, wait.
Okay, pull out your phones. Because we need y'all to call her.
We calling her.
What's the number though?
I'm trying to give it. Give people a chance to pull out their phone. Public brakes, gun smoke.
Big gun smoke, you know that?
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Everything.
The number is 781-897-8300. The homework for you guys is to call DA Marion Ryan and tell her to remove herself so that, and let's be clear, when we say independent investigation, right, because we know all of them be friends.
Yeah.
We want the FBI to investigate MIKAYLA Miller's case, not your homegirl, your colleague, none of that. Okay? Again, the number is 781-897-8300. Please ask her respectfully to remove herself so that we can have accountability and transparency in the case of MIKAYLA Miller. That is y'all's homework. I expect y'all to be better than you was in high school and actually do it. To investigate MIKAYLA Miller's case, not your homegirl, your colleague, none of that. Okay? Again, the number is 781-897-8300. Please ask her respectfully to remove herself so that we can have accountability and transparency in the case of MIKAYLA Miller. That is y'all's homework. I expect y'all to be better than you was in high school and actually do it. Because if you're standing on this grass today, you're out here because MIKAYLA Miller's life mattered. And we know everybody likes to be offended, but when we say Black Lives Matter, we just mean matter. We didn't say matter more, we didn't say matter less, we just said matter. And Michael Shea said it best. He said, when you say all lives matter, you sound crazy. You know what you sound like? It's when your spouse says to you, honey, do you love me? And you go, honey, what do you mean? I love everybody. It doesn't work that way. I just want to be clear. So again, don't leave. Go home, eat your cheese and tomato sandwich. Check off the box that says, I showed up for the Negroes today. I protested, I'm done. And not act on what happened here today. Remember, MIKAYLA lost her life April 17th. Today's May 6th. Pay attention to how long it took. Pay attention to the lack of response. Half of y'all didn't even know who MIKAYLA Miller was a couple of days ago. Because there was no news coverage, there was no articles, there was nothing but a snippet that said 16-year-old passed away, it ain't suspicious. Yo, that's great.
That's a lie. That's a lie from the start.
So listen, I got a quick little surprise for y'all, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Sean Ellis. Sean Ellis, along with my brother Darrell Jones. Darrell served 32 years and was exonerated for a crime he did not commit. Sean Ellis, trial 4, just got exonerated on all charges. They showed up for MIKAYLA today. So when they tell you black men don't care, when they try to create the narrative that black men ain't there, they showed up for MIKAYLA today. I'm going to give them a couple minutes to give some words to the family, and then we're going to wrap this up, and y'all got homework to do. Make some noise as they come.
First and foremost, not only my condolences to you, but my actions devoted to you. Both of those matter. Sean, where you at? We got 27 years here, 32 years here. In prison innocently, both of us. And the reason that I came was because we don't always show out together, but the point, here's something you need to know. Don't think that people of color are lost in this. We're not people that make accusations. That's what happened to us. We're asking for what we didn't get. That's an investigation of the facts. If you give us the facts, we do it. But if you give us the facts, then we can't trust you. I'm a living example. He's a living example. We can't trust you. So if we can't trust you, we got to come out for the facts. Hand over the facts and then let this community investigate it. Because one thing's for sure, you all owe that at least to some of us in this community.
Now this right here says justice for Miss for this baby. Now with that being said, MIKAYLA, just for that baby, MIKAYLA. Now this right here, visual right here, where they speaking on everything, where they talking, they are speaking facts. They're speaking because they want justice. Me, my thing is, my eyes, color. Y'all might always be the same people. But a lot of other people don't think that way. They think that black people are lesser than that because of their skin. Well, I went to Alabama, and the people that treated me like shit were black. Because they thought or felt like I and my man was beneath them. I watch this woman tell these two white people they can hug up by the bus station. Now, Greyhound bus station. They was outside. He was walking his girlfriend to the bus station because she was about to get on it. He told this woman, black woman, told him that he had to leave off the premises because of they was kissing. He kissed his girlfriend and he hugged her. They was outside. They said that displaying that type of thing that you do not need to be on this. If you're not getting a ticket or getting on a bus, you need to get off our property. And then she's like, now get off. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why are they like this down here? I know a lot of times I said I didn't like Alabama. It's not the fact that I didn't like Alabama. It's the fact of people's actions and how they mistreat and treat people and talk to people any kind of way. That's why I say color doesn't matter. All lives. Because in a lot of cases, it's these rich black people that look down on people that make less than them. I have watched another YouTuber was saying Black Queen, and he got so much lashed out on so much. He done flipped the street. They done made him out of his character, come out of his character. You know, some baby mama drama shit. And he was going off. He calling me. People was in his comments talking shit to him, and he had to talk back. He was calling all the women bitches. And then there's other times where I see his videos that he's more calmer. When it's not people saying fuck shit in his comment box. Don't know he had a bad day that day. Don't know. I don't know him personally. But anyways, I probably won't. I'm going to play on this because to me, this right here is inspiring. And it didn't take no money for them to do that. All them people, all colors. I can see black and white, but you know, it could be some Chinese, could be some Puerto Ricans up in there. You know, it's no telling. You know, I don't know that, but to me, it does look like it's some other races in there other than just white and black. Anyways, I'm gonna play this.
Many of us across the country innocent. I say not in my name for one reason. All of the injustice that happened is because we put people in place that we know won't be right. Just won't be right. So if you know those people in place, it is time for you to take that power back, not with 50,000 movement, but it's time for you to start saying, don't use your name to do it. Because when they put us in jail, they said Congo versus Darrell, Converse versus Sean. They said that y'all backed it. Did y'all back that? Okay, then not in your name. I want to start off by saying and recognizing the family of MIKAYLA Miller. I want to say that I acknowledge that they may be wounded right now. They may be wounded right now, but they're not broken. I want to say it again. They may be wounded right now, but they're not broken. I also want to say this, right? I spent 28 years of my life, I was arrested at 19 years old. I spent 28 years of my life fighting a cover-up. Fighting a cover-up of the Boston Police Department and the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office of the 90s and early 2000s. It wasn't until a black woman named D.A. Rachel Rollins got in the office, right, and started expose the corruption. So I want to say to you that cover-ups happen. Cover-ups happen. The easy cover-up is you. The easy cover-up is us. The easy cover-up is the spirit of being wounded but not broken. Because they're saying that no matter what, we're coming for the facts. We're not going to sit by and allow the cover-up to happen and the facts to be concealed and all that. No, it's time for exposure. So to MIKAYLA's family, you may be wounded, but you're not broken. And it doesn't matter if it takes 28 years, 28 minutes, it don't matter if it takes a damn lifetime. We want the answers. Because gone is the day that we're willing to accept one another and our children hurt, buried, beat up, killed, and the whole nine, and us not saying nothing about it. And as my sister said earlier, don't get it twisted. There were white people involved in the civil rights movement. That's right. And that's what's going to take us getting forward. That ally, that partnership, us moving together, but the people that we put into office, people whose salaries that we pay, don't get it twisted, we pay the police salary too. All right? So we got the right to demand answers. Now let's go get them.
I thank God for the amount of support that I have. I'm humbled by the amount of people that show up for me every time I say that something's wrong. They actually take it serious, and I don't want to take that for granted. So I also want to thank all of you, because you could have been anywhere else in the world today. So give yourself a round of applause for being here today, because you could have not shown up. As we wrap this up and we come to a close, your only homework is to call the DA and ask her to remove herself. We want an independent investigation. We want it independent of